Hi, it's Gwendolyn from Lifestyle Sew. So I just want to talk today about some fabrics that we need, how to store our patterns. I mean, you can store your pattern, the best way to store your patterns, but the best way is obviously the way that suits you best. But this is just an idea of what you can do, how I do mine. Also, a hack that I did on a pattern, well, it wasn't much of a hack really. It's all to do with if I change the material for a certain pattern, then I will get a different look. And on this particular pattern, that's exactly what I wanted. And it turned out great. It's a little summer long jacket that I will be bumming around in. Hopefully looking fabulous, because that's what it's all about. Okay, so let me just start with and how we do the patterns. First of all, you'll get your patterns, you will get a folder, and in the folder you probably get your disc of instructions, or you'll go online and have a look at how you do your pattern. So that's the first thing you'll be doing. Now you can see that these are laminated. They're actually laminated. Now all my favourite patterns, all the ones I think at some time I am going to make, I laminate. All the ones that I think some I just don't like, so they go right at the back of the book, and I probably won't ever make them. But some I probably won't get round to it. Maybe some jackets or some odd things that I probably wouldn't get round to doing, or I'd probably hack them anyway. But my favourite ones I laminate. You can get 2 patterns on a sheet of laminate. As you see, like this, 2 patterns on a sheet. So you just put 1 pattern each side of it, and your instructions are naturally on the back, and all you have to do is cut up the middle, and that's it really. Pop them into your folder. Now you can buy the extra folders, have a look in shop, and it'll give you all your bits and pieces. Now when you first get this is double the thickness of your normal your other folder, literally double the thickness of your other folder. If I got that round the right way, let's do it like that, maybe you can see it better. And how this comes, it's a little bit different on the way they've done it, because when it first comes, let me just click it. Right, click it shut. It comes that it's a bit like this, and I thought, how on earth do you get your patterns in? That's a bit awkward. What it is this on clips here, just on clips, and then it's easy to open up. That's just to make sure because there's so many that you can get in here. If you are doing the laminate, then you'd want a big one like this, because it does take up more room laminating. If you're going to be using your pattern over and over again, that is going to wear, and especially at the holes that you'll, especially if you put it in some sort of binder or something, it's going to wear on the corners, it's going to wear on your holes. If you put holes in to go in a binder, it really is going to start to get papery. You want it in pristine condition. But the second you laminate something, it does make that stand out. I mean, I have a lot of Lutterloh books, and it's my guilty pleasure just looking through them, having a look, see what I want. Oh, I like that, I like that, I like that. I can make that, oh, I can change that. But a lot of the patterns are the same. They really are. They're just when you get them in a new supplement, some of them are just different colours, or they're just been tweaked slightly. But basically, they're the same thing, really. Because most patterns are just, your back and your front and your arms, and that's all they're going to do is tweak and change and move and hack them themselves to create different patterns, which is absolutely great. But the most important thing of any pattern, and let me just show you one, there we go, is the line drawings on the back of the pattern. So the shape of the line drawings on the back of the pattern. Now this pattern is what I hacked. Now that is drop dead gorgeous as far as I'm concerned. But I made it in a different material because I looked at the line drawings, and if I turn it over, there is no shaping fitting in that whatsoever. And I wanted it as a jacket, and that's a perfect sort of like jacket, long jacket. And I did want 3/4 sleeves. So instead of using the ties, I just used the sleeve as the sleeve and turned it up, and I'll show you that later. It turned into something totally unrecognizable, totally different. And that was all to do with I changed the material to a more stiffer material, which created a different look altogether. You would not know the difference. But I actually did put some shaping in this, even with the jacket. On the side, I took it down. Where is it? Let me see. It's, yeah, that's the side. I actually shaped it in from under the bust down slightly to give it a bit of waist. To actually look at the jacket, you wouldn't think there's anything, but it does balance it up. I mean, quite a lot. I think I took like 2 inches in each side to create the silhouette. But when you look at it, you just see it's a nice jacket. If I hadn't have done that, it wouldn't look very nice at all. But different tweaks that you've got. But the actual pattern, when you look at the patterns at the back, sometimes they can be drastically different from the patterns on the front. You want a bust dart really on most things except for knit, and then you can alter that. You know, you can put an FBA in it, full bust adjustment in it, and you can tweak it and do things, different things like that. But most of the time you want some sort of shaping into it. Now if you are a bigger lady like I was before, then I didn't need much shaping under, say if I had darts underneath my chest, you just leave those darts out. So it gives you more room underneath there. So there's lots of things you can do in patterns. You don't necessarily have to follow a pattern directly. You can have a look at a shift dress and it's got all that darts in the front and the back. You know, if you're inclined, you can actually just leave those darts out, which will give you a lot of room if your body shape's like that. So there's lots and lots of things that you can actually do with patterns. Now, saying with the patterns, I have 2 books and I'm going to get 2 more because I also need a book, because when I cut things out, I have extras. So I might only use the shirt pattern, but then I'll have the trousers and that. So I need another book to be able to put these in pockets, not laminate. Just put these in pockets because these are the things that I'm actually going to use as the pattern. They're the photocopies of the pattern. Occasionally I photocopy a coloured one. You know, I'll photocopy a coloured one, and when I finish all patterns, I will then put the picture of that pattern on the patterns that I've cut out and clip them together. So I know I just have to look at the actual picture and I know that that's the pattern I need. But with all the measurements on, you need to put all your measurements on, because it may be in a year's time you're totally different measurements. So you just have a look. For me, I just put the bust measurement on, and I know from the bust measurement if that's close enough to that pattern, then it's going to fit me. If it's you know, an inch or so out, no, I will redraft. So that's really important to know that too. So then you can organise your patterns into like dresses and tops, but it's a little bit difficult with Lutterloh because they actually swap things about. Like this pattern, you'll get a long dress, a short bit. You can't, you know, cut it in half. So you can just do your best you can, but you can put all the children's together. You can put all your vintage together. You can put all your men's wear that comes through all together. So you can put those in. But the main thing is long gravity. you need those patterns to last years after years after years, because you may come back to it in 10 years time and think, I'm going to do that pattern again. But if it's a bit worn and you haven't looked after it, then it's going to disintegrate, really. It's not going to look that great with doing your patterns. Now, some patterns, which is this pattern, is absolutely amazing. Now, when you cut this pattern out, it is far longer than that. I mean, a lot longer. It comes down to your shin, really. You've got a lot to cut off on that pattern. So you need to bear that in mind, because you do need to get this shape at the bottom, that round shape at the bottom. So if you're cutting anything off, you need to make sure you get that shape. And I suggest, I didn't do that the first time because I wanted it long. When I realised it was, I was going to do the short one, but then when I realised it was long, I thought, oh, actually, I quite like that in calf length. So I let it go, and it was fine. But if I wanted to do this in short, I would do this at the patterning stage, which I would be measuring from my back down, you know, the back of my neck down, or get somebody to do it for me, really, because you can't do it yourself, to see how long it is. And then I can just go onto the back portion of this from the shoulder and measure all the way down to make sure I've got a finishing line. And then I would add, probably, depending on what material I had, maybe 2 inches on the end, 1.5 inches. That's no less than that. So I could turn it up and do the hem, depending on how I wanted to finish that hem as well. So that's a really good dress. And the thing is this is a princess seam. You can see it's all rounded. You'll see round where it comes in. For beginners, this dress is absolutely so easy, because your fitting problems will go away with this dress, because you'll try it on, you think, oh, that's too big. All you literally have to do is go around each seam, not one seam. You have to go around each seam all the way around, just a fraction on each seam at a time, and eventually that's going to fit you. It really is. And I had, because I had a lot of shallowness here, so I did introvert it. So I really took in about 1.5 inches on either side here as I came through up to my neck. I think on the internet, on Lifestyle Sew Facebook, you will see a picture of that when I was quite big. But that dress is great. So this is for any size. Doesn't matter what size you are, this dress is gonna fit you. It's so easy to make. It looks like there's a lot of parts. Oh, how difficult. It isn't. It really is not difficult. It's there's not much. The most difficult part is putting the binding on, if you like. That's it. The actual sewing of it and drafting it out. Really worth doing that. This is pattern number 261. I don't know what at this stage what supplement this is. I've only started to do now, write the supplements on before I take them out, because I take them out the supplement section and start organizing them. So now I put the supplement on, but that can be found out on the internet anyway. So that's an easy one to work out. So now let's go into fabric side of things. So this is stretch, this is knit, and you've got to make sure which way the stretch goes. Now this is a 2-way stretch, but it's not equally stretched in the same way. Now this way, if I do that, there's quite a lot of stretch in that. But if I turn it the other way, there's still stretch in it, but there's not as much stretch as that way. So that is the way I would be putting to go across your chest section, or all of it, obviously down, but cut the pattern to make sure that that's the width. It goes that way. So, but this is, it's like a cross between an ITY and a scuba, really. And so it's not really heavyweight. It's a medium weight knit. Then we have a soft jersey knit. Now was great for a cardigan. I made this cardigan and gave it to my sister. Wish I hadn't now. And this goes, it's so light and soft, this. And that way, let's have a look, that way. Okay, so it's that way that's got the stretch. There again, you put it down. It is very light, this is a light cotton jersey. Yeah, this is a light cotton jersey. It's super soft cotton jersey. Great for water flow cardigans and things like that. It's great. And then we have a visco. Now this is really nice. Now this is really lightweight. This is, I'll show you. See that? And that's great for blouses. It's great for long dresses. You know, just about anything really that you want to make. This will make. If you wanted to do a skirt, you'd have to line it, but you could do a skirt, gathered skirt. There's lots of stuff that you can make this, because the actual drape on this is absolutely fantastic. And then I've just ordered these from Fabric Galore. Now this is cotton. Absolutely gorgeous cotton. It really is. I ordered, I think, 3.5 yards of this because I want to do something long with this for the summer. So it feels nice. It's quite a strong blue. It's soft but structured. And then we've got one of my favourites, which I'll probably use in my next video. It's a batik. Is it batik? A batik. This is quite. It's a cotton again, obviously. Well, if you didn't notice that, it's a lighter cotton than the other one, so it's not as structured. But because it's got the elephants on it, that creates more structure in the actual fabric itself. It means that your dress is going to have more structure than it normally would have. Indeed, and I've got just the pattern for that. If you want a more professional look, then sometimes you need to invest in a few bits and pieces. One is a clapper. These come in all shapes and sizes. You'll put the steam on or put a hot iron on. Straight away, a clapper goes over the top to set that seam properly. It is not the same as just ironing your whole outfit afterwards. It will really, really give you a professional look on your outfits. You can get them anywhere. Etsy, do a lot of them. Lots of guys. This was actually from Etsy. They're not cheap though. That's the only thing. I mean, a bit of wood. Well, I guess they're not. It's the type of wood that they use for it. And then we've got the ham and the sleeve roll. Now, I don't need them. When you're doing the shoulders, you'll use your ham. Soft curve when you iron it, so you don't get creases on your shoulders. Everything's about giving it that little je ne sais quoi when you're doing something, just to make it that little bit special, to give it that finished edge. This goes in your sleeve. You can just iron those seams all the way up. You can even use your clapper on top. They're quite sturdy. Of course, we have to get the right cottons for what we're sewing with. It's very easy to think, I want to make something. I'll just go and have a look at my stash, see what cotton I've got. Oh, that's plenty good, and do it. And then the seam starts to come up and you'll see white cotton in black or something. You're going to waste all your work. You just need to get the right cotton. Don't waste your work. It's hard enough. Now let me show you the hack I did. I think you'd be a little bit surprised. Right, can you see now? Okay, so this is the pattern hack. So it actually closes up. And I have put a little bit of shaping in the side. If I can go back here, I don't know if you can see, Got little slits at the side here. Now I can have it up to my neck as a coat look, or I can have it pinned back like this. I probably will put the pin tacks in to tack this back, and I do need to understitch the binding, or the interfacing really. It's the thin interfacing all the way down. That's all that needs to be done to it. The arms have been done, the splits have been done. Totally different, totally different look. There was a bust adjustment done in this for me to, I won't be, there's no buttons on this, there won't be any buttons on it. It's not meant to be that. It'll be a casual jacket just to wear, you know, go out and be like that. That's all this is. So let me just, you can, I don't know if you can see like the little lapel bit, which is the same on the dress pattern. So this is totally different, absolutely totally different. It looks, only because I've changed the material and I've done a little tweak in the side to give it a little bit of shaping in the side, and that is the only difference with this pattern. Ordinarily you pull it in and these sleeves, they would be gathered up here, they would be gathered round that tie bow look, so you can, you know, you can see what it is. This would have buttons on it to come over like this, but I'm not putting buttons on it. It's not meant to be for that. It's just meant to be sling it on in the summer. Anyway, that's it for today. I'll see you soon, hopefully with our next pattern, and haven't quite decided what I'm going to do there, so keep a lookout. Give me a thumbs up and please subscribe, and if you possibly can, pop over to the Facebook and join there, because that's starting to take off now, and the more the merrier to try and get that up and running. So thank you for the comments that you have been saying on YouTube, and any questions you want, please ask. We're all on it together. It's your YouTube channel. I'm doing this to help people out there. So the more that joins, the more that subscribes, the more videos I can make. So see you soon.